Hello, friends. In our series of retrograde youthography and how you interpret various films, in this presentation, I shall be talking to you about the complications of stricture disease that take place within the urethral wall. When I say complications, you should understand this differentiation very clearly. That one, you can have complications of the RGU itself, by which I mean the technique of euthography, like extravasation or intravasation. I had talked about this in my earlier video. Or you can have complication which is happening because of the stricture disease per se. So I had talked about complications of RGU earlier. In this presentation, I am focusing on complications of stricture disease which will be visible to you in various films. And you have to make a note of them because they have profound bearing on how you treat the patient. So, if you categorize the complications of stricture disease, they can take place either in the urethral wall, which means the wall proximal to stricture, or the wall distal to stricture, or the wall at the site of stricture. So just try and, for the purpose of learning and for the purpose of understanding, just divide the urethral wall in these three locations. Complications can also take place within the prostate, and complications can also take place within the bladder. Now, usually the complications of prostate and bladder are better seen by ultrasonography. But what I'm saying is, if you happen to see such a thing on the ureterogram film, then you should make a note of that and record it. Say, for example, for prostate, you can have an inflammatory enlargement, which is called prostatitis, which can even go on to develop an abscess. In the urinary bladder, you can have retention of urine, or you can have diverticulum formation, or you can have the infection within the urine which is stagnating in the bladder. When I talk about urethral wall complications, and if I have to tell you what may go wrong proximal to stricture, there can be abscess formation, fistula formation, or even squamous metaplasia in the urethra. And you can see all these things in ureterogram film. Distal to stricture, this is probably one of the commonest complications that you see in a ureterogram film, a false passage formation by somebody who has attempted a dilatation, or somebody who has attempted a catheterization. He creates the false passage, and then patient comes to you with the ureterogram film. At the site of stricture, again, you can have either an abscess or a fistula formation. So friends, you can have so many complications which will be visible to you in the retrograde ureterogram film. Let me talk about them one by one. Complications in urethral wall distal to stricture, right? When I say distal, I am referring in anatomical perspective. Okay. So distal to stricture, the complication that one can have is a false passage. When you see a false passage, you are expected to define the presence of false passage from where to where. And then you have also to comment upon the width of the false passage, because wider the false passage, longer will it take in healing. In this ureterogram film, you will see that there is a dorsal false passage marked by black arrow. And if I were to ask you how wide it is, look at the another set of black arrows from below, and this false passage is as wide as about 2 centimeter. How do I say 2 centimeter? Because if you use the inferior pubic ramus width as a reference point, which is about 2.5 centimeter, then you will be able to say this false passage is about nearly 2 centimeter wide. In this film, which is a film of the same patient after a month, the false passage has regressed in the width, as you can see here by black arrows. In either retrograde ureterogram film, you see 2 passages, and then if you focus in this area which has been marked by dotted red circle. Uh, One is a false passage and another is a natural normal passage. Now, how do you know that? The false passage will be connected to the distal urethra because that's where it has come from, while the normal passage will be connected to normal proximal urethral passage, the prostatic urethra, the bladder up there. So that's where it is connected. So the passage and its continuity, on that basis, you can say whether it is a false passage or it is a normal urethral passage. Now, in this urethrogram and in the area encircled by red line, the one below is a false passage and this is ventral false passage. And the one above is a normal passage. And you just have to refer to your anatomical knowledge here and you will know what I'm talking. In another film, which is in fact a micturating cystogram, but I just put it here for the purpose of your understanding. The one below is a ventral false passage. I wanted to tell you that the normal false passage has its connection to bladder, prostatic urethra, sphincteric urethra, and then the normal passage. And that is what is visible in this film. In another retrograde urethrogram film, you will see a false passage, right? Now this is a fairly long passage because somebody tried to dilate it and dilator went in and in as high as behind the bladder and it resulted in a very long false passage. In another retrograde urethrogram film, you see stricture here shown by golden arrow, and then you see a large ventral false passage where the contrast has gone and the red outline is showing you the false passage. In another film of retrograde urethrogram, you will see a ventral false passage. You of course see in the urethral lumen there's a contrast and there are lots of air bubbles and a feeding tube placed distally. All that you will see all right, but I'm focusing here from the point of view of speaking selectively on what kind of complications you see in the film. So I hope you have understood that false passage can begin dorsal to stricture, and I'll go dorsally. It can begin ventral to stricture. By ventral I mean nearly about 6 o'clock in the lumen, and then it will go below the stricture. So it can go either the way, and you have to record this in the retrograde urethrogram film. Next is complication in urethral wall at the site of stricture. Now here is a retrograde urethrogram film where you see a cavity whose outline is fuzzy, and this cavity is lying just below the stricture. So obviously this is an abscess cavity and the outline is lined by granulation tissue. That's why it's looking fuzzy. In the another picture here, you will see a stricture marked by golden arrow, and then you see a huge cavity which is rather filled with contrast and looks smooth. Now this smoothness of cavity depends upon the duration of the abscess cavity. If you are doing urethrogram in the initial phases, you naturally see fuzzy outline. But if you do urethrogram in later phases, when abscess wall is organized and part of abscess wall has drained into urethral lumen, then you may see it like a urethral diverticulum kind of thing. But history of the patient will tell you whether he has had an abscess which has emptied. In this patient, the stricture is marked by golden arrow, and then you see a track going down from 6 o'clock, and this is marked by blue arrow. This is a urethral fistula. So you can either have an abscess cavity or you can have a fistulous track at the site of stricture in the film. Talking about complications in urethral wall proximal to stricture, because patient voids with little high pressure, and the pressure within the proximal bulbar urethra becomes very high. So in some instances, some urine can extravasate, or some urine can go into the litter gland ducts, right? And then it will go there and form a localized extravasation, a small abscess. As you can see in this patient, the stricture is marked by golden arrows, and then a red outline is showing you an extravasated area. In this patient, the arrow shows you the stricture, and this red outline is showing you an abscess cavity which has formed not at the site of stricture but has formed proximal to the stricture. In another retrograde urothelium film, this is rather long penobulbar stricture marked by golden arrow, and you see here marked by red outline an abscess cavity. First it formed extravasation of urine and later it got infected to form abscess cavity. So for you on retrograde urothelium film to say whether it is extravasated urine or it is abscess stage, difficult to say. But you can certainly say that the contrast has leaked out of the urethral lumen, so it will be either of these. Now, if I were to ask you the question, in this retrograde urothelium film, what is that kind of extravasation that you're seeing below the area of the bulbar urethra? And that's what I'm referring to. I'm referring to these golden arrows which are showing you these extravasation kind of thing. What is this? And why this kind of so-called extravasation is looking like? Now, you will get answer to this in the next film. Here is a retrograde urothelium film, and you see below the urethra two eggshell kind of encrustations. If I were to show you with the arrows, these two eggshell kind of encrustation, and if I were to remove the arrows and again show you the arrows, what do you think are these? Extravasations? No. These are actually the calcified hydrocele sacs of this patient, which have come up on the urothelium film. If you had a plain film, plain X-ray film, you would have seen these calcified sacs in a plain film also. But since we do not have a plain film, these shadows are creating confusion. And in the former film, it was looking like an extravasation. So just keep in your mind that a calcified hydrocele sac wall can superimpose on the urethra and can give you these kind of fallacies. So thank you very much for listening to this presentation. If you have any questions regarding this, you can write to me on my email drdalila24@gmail.com. And for more videos related to this topic of retrograde urethography or anything else in urology, you can refer to my website, Dalila Academy of Urology.